Millions of dollars of CARES Act money went to colleges and universities that had announced plans to close. Our national investigative team found the federal government knew some of those recipients had no intention to continue operating. Here's Investigate TV's Lee Zurich with closing and cashing in.
Zane Reining will never forget the time an online video game party with his friends at McMurry College abruptly ended.
We all get an email from the president and we're reading it. And I just remember everything going dead silent. And it was almost like you could hear the collective heartbeats of all of us in that gaming party.
The group found out the small town Central Illinois school was shutting down for good.
I remember I started hearing a couple of the guys sniffle because it was just like, Mac Fam was for real. Like, that was our motto at McMurry, Mac Fam. And it was just like, when we got that email and we're reading it, it was just the family just being, torn apart.
By the end of May, McMurry terminated most of the 101 full-time employees. In June, the school picked an auction house to sell the 60-acre campus. But in late July, taxpayers sent the college a six-figure check, part of the CARES Act, to help colleges and students during the pandemic.
If they've announced they're closing, they shouldn't get the CARES Act. That's pretty clear.
In fact, we found at least 30 colleges that closed this year were allocated CARES Act money. The U.S. Department of Education offering those schools a total of at least $8 million. Half of all CARES Act money sent to schools went to students, but the other half went to colleges to spend on costs related to the coronavirus. In February, Concordia University in Portland, Oregon announced its closure. In April and May, the federal government sent the school $1.6 million.
Because they're going out of business. And that you're not sustaining them. The CARES Act was supposed to sustain institutions. If you know you're closing, you aren't being sustained.
It makes no sense in a way. It defeats the purpose of the CARES Act.
Right.
It's unclear just how these universities spent the institutional portions of the money.
If the money is to help the students finish that semester, I don't think there's an issue at all. If they're trying to help their employees as they close, I think that's less of an issue. If it's just give them some money and they'll figure out what to do with it later, then that may not be such a good use.
By October 30th, schools have to show which categories they spent money in. Zane Reining received one check from McMurry, part of that school's student portion of CARES Act funding. He admits more money would have helped.
It would have helped me, of course, pay off student loans, put it towards student loans and education, and get me on the right foot in life.
He's found another college to finish his criminal justice degree, but Reining still visits the empty campus.
Drive past campus on my lunch breaks at work. I'll drive across town to go, have a picnic on campus because it's just McMurry College meant so much to me.
Lee Zurich, Valley News Live.
The Department of Education declined an interview request, but said in an emailed statement, closed institutions did not receive funds, but the department was required to provide funding to all operating institutions, including those that had announced closure. Our team reached out to the schools. They either declined an interview or they did not respond. You can read more about the universities named in this story on our website. Go to valleynewslive.com. A showcase game for college athletes looking to impress NFL teams has been called off. Alex Egan is here with details next in sports.